guys, we're going to be jumping straight in with this DIY fall vase using this printable from Free Pick. It is free, so I'll go ahead and link it below. And first I'm just going to go ahead and cut it out. I'm going to be using a vase from Dollar Tree, but you can use any vase you want. And then I use double stick tape to go ahead and stick it to the inside of the vase. You can use regular tape if you want, I just use double stick. Next, I'm going to be using this puff paint that I got from Walmart. It is super important to use puff paint because it holds that 3D dimension after it dries. I love this. It was so fun, super relaxing, and you don't have to be perfect. Remember, DIYs are supposed to be fun, you guys. Don't worry about getting every detail. Just go ahead and freehand it, and however you do it, it's going to turn out perfectly, I promise. So I let it dry overnight, and the next day I took it outside, and this is what it looked like, you guys. It was so pretty. You could definitely leave it just like that, but I wanted to add some texture using this Rust-Oleum spray paint. So I went ahead and started spraying it, and I would not suggest doing it this way, you guys. You definitely want to stand back a little bit and use a constant spray, and then I went on top of it with this white matte spray paint, and then I did one more layer of the textured spray paint, and this is how it turned out, you guys. This could go with any fall home decor because it's neutral, and I thought it was so pretty. And if you think it's pretty too, then go ahead and comment the word leaf below. Next, I'm going to be making some vase filler using this foam from Dollar Tree. And first I started out using a knife to cut it. Would not suggest because it wound up being really raggedy and it wasn't easy or safe. I would suggest using one of the Dollar Tree box cutters because you can extend it. I went ahead and stabbed it in the middle and worked my way around. It was a lot safer and it wound up being a lot smoother. From there, I cut down the foam block into squares, and then I used a spool of thread as a template to make a cylinder shape. From there, I cut off the little raggedy end right there because we don't need that. And then I cut it in half. And when you put them together, they make a mushroom shape. Next, I got one of Dollar Tree's bamboo skewers and I went ahead and broke it apart. I stabbed it into the center of the cylinder and then I took it back out. Then I stabbed it into the cap and went ahead and put some hot glue on there, and I put them back together so I would know where the center of the stem of the mushroom was. And this process made 6 mushrooms. Next, I'm using this gorgeous neutral yarn from my stash. It's from I Love This Yarn, and here's the color. And then I'm also using this yarn from the Dollar Tree in the color Pecan. So next, I'm just adding like a little bit of hot glue onto the cap of the mushroom, and then I'm going to place down the yarn. And then I added a little bit more glue, and then I started spiraling the yarn around the cap. But you guys, I burnt my finger a couple times. I would definitely suggest using a finger protector. This one I did get from the Dollar Tree, so definitely protect your finger. Keep adding glue and spiraling down until we cover the entire cap. From there, I just turned it upside down and I started from the bottom on the stem and slowly started creating a spiral around the bottom of the stem. And once you get to the edge of the stem, just continue to spiral all the way down until we get all the way to the cap. And once you're at the cap, you're just going to continue to spiral all the way out to the edge of the cap. Once I was done, I cut off the remainder of the yarn, and to keep it from fraying, I used a little dab of hot glue on the end and then I pressed it down with the finger protector. And this is how it turned out. My next DIY is inspired by Pottery Barn as well as the Dollar Tree DIY guru herself, Bargain Bethany. We're going to be starting out using this broomstick, and Dollar Tree was actually all sold out of these, so I got one from Dollar General. The cap was a little harder to take off, so I used this pin as leverage and turned it to get it removed. Next, I'm just going to be using this old Simply Lemonade bottle from their mixology line. It actually tasted no different than the regular one, but whatever. So I went ahead and took it outside. I used some paper to create a funnel with a wide enough mouth, and then I added some concrete. Next, I put in the broomstick, and then I added some water, mixed it around, and then I let it sit overnight so that it could cure. Now, I wanted my tree to be pretty tall, so I got another broomstick and I cut it in half. I put some hot glue inside of it and then added it onto the other broomstick, and then I taped it down to give the hot glue some time to dry. Next, I got these gorgeous eucalyptus stems that Dollar Tree had this fall. I got 6 in the tan and the orange, and then I got 2 more in the green. After that, I went ahead and taped off the top of the broomstick because I wanted it to look like a tree and not a broomstick. From there, I started adding on the stems using masking tape, and then I'd step back, look at it, add more stems, and just try to get a feel of where I wanted it to go so that I could fill out the tree. So when I was done, this is what it looked like, and it was time to make the tree trunk. Now you guys, I just started slapping on this masking tape some of everywhere. It really looks better when you kind of make it, I guess, raggedy. So just start taping all over, and you know, the messier the better. I continued to bring it all the way up to where the branches were, and then I started ripping pieces of tape off so that it would be a little bit easier to get in between the branches. So next I use this apple barrel paint and nutmeg to paint the trunk of the tree. And again, perfection is not what we're aiming for here. Just go ahead and slap that paint all over the trunk. With this process, I actually preferred using one of the smaller foam brushes because it made it a lot easier to get in between the branches of the tree. Next, I use this antique wax paint in a dark brown from Waverly. Now this is just what I had in my stash, so it doesn't really matter what you use as long as it's a little bit darker brown, just to bring in some dimension and make the tree trunk look more realistic. Now I gotta be honest, I thought that my tree was a little bare, so I went back to Dollar Tree to get some more stems and they were all sold out. So I actually found that Joann's had some eucalyptus stems for $3.99 and they were on sale for 50% off, so it wound up being around the same price as Dollar Tree. So if you're wanting to make one of these trees and you can't find any of the stems at Dollar Tree, pick some up at Joann's. So I just fluffed out the stems and followed the same process to begin adding it to the trunk. And this is how the tree turned out, you guys. I thought it was so pretty. Oh my gosh, it wound up being about 7 feet tall. So that was amazing for using Dollar Tree products. And I think I'm ready to make a tree for every season now. This next DIY is inspired by this Pottery Barn wreath. And when I saw $129, I was like, no ma'am. I was in Dollar Tree and I saw these picks and I thought they would be perfect for this wreath. So I got a wreath form and then I used my wire cutters to cut off the inside portion of the wreath. From there, I got these picks and I went ahead and just began to lay them out around the wreath form so I could get an idea of how far apart I needed to space them. I got these zip ties also from Dollar Tree that I'm going to be using to hold the stems down. I partially zipped it to the wreath form and then I added in the stem, and at that point when I got it where I wanted it to be, I tightened the zip tie. From there I bent the ends of the stem so that it would be rounded like the wreath form. I got a little confused about spacing, so I added all the stems back and then I made sure to zip tie the stem to the wreath form and the base of the previous stem. And this is how it turned out. I think this was gorgeous. It matched some stems that I got from Joann so perfectly that you see right here. And this was so affordable, you guys. So that is all of the DIYs that we have for today for fall. I hope you guys have an amazing fall and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Just going to the store. I think I'd have it all. Tell you I have even more.